welcome to Psychic Holistic Spotlight. I'm your host, Josie Way. This is my co-host, Bill Hannon, and our guests tonight are from the American Society of Dowsers. We have Neri Donalds and Susie Pruce.
Hi.
Neri is the executive director and founder of the Rhode Island chapter of the American Society of Dowsers. What does the American Society of Dowsers do?
Well, we incorporated in November 2009, and we were one of the second to last state in the country to have a chapter. So it was very interesting that we actually got in there to Rhode Island. Some of the larger states, New York, have 6. So that's the premise was to bring dowsing, the word dowsing, into the state of Rhode Island because everybody knows it as penduluming. You've heard of penduluming, it's the same type of wording. Well, dowsing came from the old timers looking for water. And the farmers, that's how they got their water. That's how they got their wells for their family and their fields. And they used basically a stick. And it would be willow. A lot of people know this. This is one of my favorites. And we have, and the idea is thumbs up. That's how I tell everybody when I teach. And we're in the Greenville Library, the second Saturday of every month from 10 to 12:30. And we're a nonprofit organization, and we give classes every month. And we teach people how to use all the tools. This is one way you would hold the Y rod. This is a Y rod because of the Y. And they would take a switch right off the tree, and it would be fresh, and it would start to point down. Now the idea of dowsing is that you are divining. And this is the oldest way that people used to divine. And the way I've learned and taught my students is that you channel a supreme being or your higher guides, and the impulse of that channel coming through your chakras gives off a nervous impulse through your muscular system, okay, and allows that electricity to pull the rod down to where the water is, because your electricity, that's water, it's going to gravitate to...
Yeah, we're magnetic, electromagnetic beings.
So it's just the current coming through, and there's really no magic about it. When you think of it, it is mixing a lot of your science.
Divine information is magic as far as I'm concerned. It's wonderful.
Yep, and these are a couple of other rods I brought. So there is no correct length, okay?
But should they always be willow?
No.
It doesn't always have to be willow. Susie brought in her plastic.
So this is the new age, like when you buy your kit and everything through the Dowsers, they now offer this. They actually have metal ones also with a little bit of copper on it.
Right.
So it's the same thing. So, you just kind of walk forward and then ask, and it'll just go down for you. So,
So that's plastic. Then I'll just go through a few of our tools of the trade. And this is one of my favorites. This is called a bobber. And basically it is a wooden stick with a wire curled and has a little bead at the end. It's very light, as you can see.
I just asked it to hold still.
That was safe. And I'm not moving it. The way I show my students is I put my elbow right to my waist or right to my body.
That's right.
So you're not out there doing this type of thing, and people can't accuse you of moving the rod. So I hold tight to my body, and I just ask, show me a yes, And as you can see,
One.
it goes up and down. And this is the way you're programming. And you'll do this for all the different ones, but we won't go through programming each one.
No.
But we'll just show you, this is a fun one, because everybody can see this nice and large. And then show me my no. Now the no is a lot harder for people to get. Now I've been doing this for quite a bit. So, since I was like 14, up in Vermont, I used to sit there and watch the Dowsers at the
Dowsing
Danville
is
Green
big up
It is.
in
there.
1962.
It's a way of life.
And so this is my no. This is showing me my no answer. Now you have to program because when you ask questions, you need to get a yes or a no. That's the bottom line. Being experienced,
Do
I
you
can get a
questions
maybe.
answered? You do get a maybe
This is
also?
my maybe.
Okay.
See the way it's going in a circular clockwise, okay? Now, some of our books will go through, for instance, Raymond Grace. He's a great dowser, and he uses the bobber all the time and heals people, you know, with this type of... It's like a horse. It goes which way I want just because it knows. It goes backwards. As you notice, the circular motion has changed and it's going backwards. Whoa, horse. So it knows me. All my tools pretty much know me by now, and they are programmed. Do you want to try yourself? And you'll see the energy, see the difference in somebody who's learning and trying, and then somebody with and you just want to relax and pull your energy into leaving your mind blank. What you want to
That's not
look
hard
for, that's training. What you want to look for is a neutral position.
Okay, I just asked to give me a yes, so that's what I've been holding.
Okay. Now getting a no is a little bit harder, and
Okay.
you can ask to show me my no. Your no. There you go.
Pretty much holding with the yes pattern for right now, but maybe with some practice.
Okay. Well, we'll
It was
leave you.
trying.
We'll leave you with that. But I
Just keep saying yes to everything.
We'd love a
Thank
huge
you.
donation. Yes. It's saying yes. And we have, these are L rods,
Yeah, see, I have actually seen these in books.
okay?
You can make your own.
They are like so amazing.
Yes.
I've seen them measuring people's auras.
Right.
Exactly,
Before
yeah.
treatment, after treatment. I've seen,
Right, and
The
they are
difference.
called L rods because they are like an L. And it was from Frank Lemoyne in France back in the 1800s, in Europe, who discovered that too many people were getting hung because everybody thought that they were holding tight. These sleeves weren't invented then. And they were holding him, and the man would be accused of lying and cheating,
Exactly, yeah.
so that he was making the move like this. So Mr. Lemoyne, Mr. Elrod, decided to put a sleeve on this copper wire or wire that they had then to prove that these would move
On their
with
own,
current. With current, and that's what they can do. Now, these are a little bit, they're going to cooperate today. It's show me when I'm over a spot, it's show me my yes, okay, is like that. It's a cross. X marks a spot. And to show me my no, they will open. Okay, now this is just a few, and these are curled at the end because when we do aura work and somebody is very sensitive, like see how those opened right away? If your field is telling me your field is
It's
very
coming back.
open, okay? And very open, and actually your field, without even me asking, is going way behind me. It's going right around me, and I'm in it, and isn't that pretty? You know, you're very open. And so it really doesn't want to poke an aura because it's very sensitive.
Yes,
So that's why these are turned.
I see.
That sounds,
No other.
that sounds very good. See, I never knew that.
And then these are one of my favorites. These are from Vermont. The American Society put little pen caps
Oh.
on these. And so mine's a little bent. It gets a lot of use from field work. And it's the same type of thing. Now these you'll like to move because these are very sensitive.
Okay.
And I'll show you one of my old-time favorites. See, this before they started doing that. And this is an old one somebody made that I've picked up.
Wow.
And you can hear it squeaking. Look at the difference. Now feel this one. This is very heavy.
Really? I said, give me a yes, I went right to an answer.
Yeah. Well, your X could be different than mine,
Well,
so it all
I'm just mimicking you,
depends. That's
and
right.
there's a no, straight
So
up.
it is telling you that, and now if you had one, and I'm in a field and I want to find, say for instance, the water, and I'm at the beginning of a field
Right.
in someone's driveway, a
Sure,
client.
Sure.
I put one down, and I'm standing at the time, and I'll say point to the direction of the vein of water in the field that I'm trying to find, and it will point to the direction. When I was trained at the American Society in their school, in the Dowsing School 101, what we did was find the water pipes in the auditorium,
Oh,
in the cafeteria. So, and then we had to take tape, and there must have been, a dozen students with us. And we would all have different tape, and we would put the tape down, all the different colors would be on the floor where everybody thought the pipe was carrying the water.
Right.
Or somebody would have to find the electrical lines, in which way they were running, north or south, east or west. And so that was a lot of fun. There's a lot of games that we do at the Greenville Library. So these are your L rods, and
Yeah,
some
this
are
is
heavier.
heavier.
Yeah, feel this one. These are nice. Aren't those nice and sensitive? And this is how heavy you could find one. Look at that, the bulk in that. Okay, and squeaky.
It squeaks.
These are the older ones before the
Yep.
newer ones came
now
out.
is this,
But you can find many things more than water.
Yes, we can find, people have found minerals and gold. They pan for gold. With our friend John Wayne Blassingame, he teaches a lot of the gold panning. You can find water at the wells. We did a benefit for Haiti in Providence, and that turned out very well. But minerals, oil, lost people, missing people,
Lost
animals,
objects, yep.
objects. I've misplaced my keys, a passport. But the interesting thing about dowsing is that it's very literal. So when I asked, one time my daughter was leaving for another country, and I asked to find her passport because we were looking for it at the last minute, as that goes. And I went upstairs, I dowsed the first floor. Is it on the first floor? No. I ran upstairs. Is it on the second floor? Yes. I got a yes with my pendulum. Is it in the north side of the house, the south side of the house? So I go into her room. I said, okay, which direction is it in her bedroom? And it went to her dresser. So I picked up her jewelry box, and underneath was a passport. Well, it turned out it was her savings passport. Okay? That's how literal
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
dowsing is. It's very, very literal from your subconscious. So when it said passport, it gave me a passport.
Right.
What I wanted was the international traveling passport because we're in a hurry.
Were you able to locate it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was actually in her suitcase,
But of course,
which was in the car.
Right.
It was all organized. But here,
Those are
Mom,
little like antennas. They
These are,
extend.
and these are wonderful little tools. Again, they have these, can you guess what these are? The TV antennas.
The little antennas.
okay.
They're little antennas that we used to have on top of our rabbit ears, aren't they called, our rabbit
yes,
ears?
yes.
So you can really have fun making
pocket ones,
any
yeah.
type of L-rod or dowsing tool. Don't think that you have to buy these tools. And we have the Aura meter. This is probably one of my more expensive tools. This range is probably $150. Where these you can make yourself with coat hangers. But this is very sensitive. Again, I use this when I do my healing work, my chakra work, or clearing things, which is very good. But
You also have many crystalline ones.
yes.
They're very popular. Is there a
these
reason why
are
people like them?
pretty.
It's just because they're
yeah.
pretty?
Well, there are pendulums where you can do more work like this Aura meter. It's more sensitive. But I find that you can dowse with anything. What you have on your neck, if you were lost and you didn't know a direction in your car, take off like I wear mine.
A mini GPS.
A mini GPS, that's what we are. That's what we are. You take
Well,
this
our
off.
spirit guides, and God knows where we are all the
And
time.
you can use this
Exactly.
as the same thing, an earring, a set of keys, right? A set of keys. And so we have my favorite,
The little acorn.
the little acorn, the pendulums. And we have an arrow's head with a crystal on top. And we have something heavier.
That is pretty dense, yeah.
Yeah. Now,
So it was very
what's
sensitive.
the difference between the heavy and the light?
Well, this really moves. I think this will move rapidly because the energy goes right down to it. It's very heavy. This I've made to experiment with, like you were saying, and you can get very pretty. And actually, it meditates your mind looking at the crystal. So you're not really focusing on the question to have your mind give you a yes or a no.
Right.
You are actually focusing on the pretty
Get
colors.
your ego out of the mix here,
Exactly.
right?
Get that dangerous
Yeah,
ego
the
out of
ego,
there.
That is one problem, the ego getting in there.
Right. And now I just want to open up with a prayer of how prayer meditation always comes into dowsing. And I start with my left hand energy coming in through my left palm. Your energy radiates through your left and
Right.
comes out through your
Right.
right. And so you're bringing energy in through your left and not focusing on your question. I open with, may I, can I, am I allowed to dowse at this particular moment in time? May my reading or whoever I'm working with be in the light, be specific and accurate, and bring blessings to whoever I dowse and whoever's involved. And so that keeps it, what I say, in the white light and in God's light, or whatever you believe in. It doesn't have to be one. And so that's my neutral. That's my neutral position. And yes, it is. So if you wanted to ask me a question right now, Bill, do you want to ask me anything? Or Susie, you want to think of something? Or Josie, that you want to, well, I'm open. It's like an open phone.
Yes.
We've opened and now we're ready for question.
Will I be able to attend the classes I chose at the International Herbal Symposium this week?
Okay. And I will try to repeat all that.
Yes.
Now I need your first and last name.
Bill Hannon.
Hannon?
Hannon.
Okay. May I, can I, am I allowed to dowse Bill Hannon? And yes, I can. Now that gives me like calling up your spirit, your
Sure.
spirit guides,
Right.
allowing me to go ahead and dowse. If I got a no, then I would not.
Of course.
I would
I
close.
understand that, right.
I would close it up, and then I would end that because you could be having a bad time, and I don't want to get involved. Now, is it true that Bill is going to be able to go
To get to attend the classes.
attend the classes that
at
he
the-
wants to?
Correct.
What's the date?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So
Of June next week,
this weekend. Yes.
weekend.
this weekend.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm getting yes, but I'm getting circles. I want to add
Yes.
something to that. Is it in Bill's highest and greatest good to go to these? Okay, I'm getting a no.
Okay.
It's not in your highest and greatest good. You may want to, but you have to remember. Now, I'm not going to tell you not to go,
Right.
but there could be something there
That's right. That's right.
that
A challenge.
a challenge.
Right.
Maybe somebody do you feel anything that I'm saying could be interfering in that, or you thought about maybe
No, but I would definitely will stay open to.
stay open to
Absolutely.
the travel plans?
Are there a variety of classes
Yes,
there?
there are.
So maybe it's the specific classes that you were thinking of may not be in your best interest. There may
Right.
be other classes.
Question, is it true that the classes, maybe there's something there we have to, yes, that's exactly it. It's about the
Okay.
classes, maybe there's
You
some.
might need to
Okay.
review
Sure.
what
Right.
your choice is.
And this is the way I close. So I thank guidance for that. I close up by just closing. And this is just part of my Turkish background
Okay.
that I close with. And I'm going to turn it over to...
There are many books.
There are many books.
that you've brought, and I would
Right.
love for you to tell people where they can read, what books
Well,
they can
Henry
read.
Gross is about map dowsing and the art of map dowsing. He dowsed fresh water at Bermuda, 1950, and they were all amazed, saying it couldn't be done because he did it at home in New Hampshire. In remote viewing, it's called,
Right.
in
Right,
map
that's
dowsing.
right.
The
Yes.
Art and Craft of Map Dowsing by Leroy Bull. He's one of my favorite masters, one of my favorite teachers. Then you get into some good books about taming the wild pendulum. And this, I haven't finished that, but it can get wild.
Yours is still a little wild.
I like it that way. And then Dowsing for Beginners, Richard Webster, he's Australian, wonderful for introduction to dowsing.
Oh, that's great.
And children can douse
Yes.
with the best of them.
As well as going to Greenville on a regular basis.
Exactly.
And Sid Longgreen, Spiritual Dowsing, wonderful
Now,
book.
spiritual dowsing, is that the aura and health questions? And
Yes.
Yes, and the land, geomancy. And he has charts in here, and
now-
earth energies.
What is geomancy?
That's a whole other topic, but it's finding earth ley lines. And there's a whole
Okay.
terminology to that. It's talking about English and then talking about math. It's two different
Okay.
topics that I would like to share with you if you come to Greenville. Pendulum, the Bridge of Knowing. And Dale Olson is one of my favorites because, and then we have this one that I was just privy to, Dowsing Your Health by Carol Gator. And she took these charts from Dr. Herbert Parker, who's passed away, and she added to
she
these.
embellished them.
And these are the charts, and it's great to have these.
Oh, that's for-
that you hold your pendulum over. Let's take a pretty one. And
Where did my problem
originate. So you would dowse over, start your pendulum over, and then it would go, it says at birth, before birth, a past life, and it goes to no other. But these charts are wonderful, and then it will hone into one. It may go into two, but these are wonderful charts, and you have some more charts?
We
Yes.
have, we had a guest here from Eastern Europe that dowsed complete physical ailments. You're not allowed to do that here.
No.
But over there, doctors consulted her.
Exactly.
Because she had developed such a accurate chart, and they would come to her when the diagnosis was difficult or would require surgery that might be hazardous to the person to
Sure.
find out,
Sure.
which course to take.
Yeah, I use it quite a bit in my healing practice also, just to balance out the chakras, just to open up and see if they're blocked and get them like spinning the right way,
Yeah.
and that type of thing. And I mean, if you go back to the olden days, like somebody said, when did you first do dowsing? And you didn't realize it at the time, but I don't know if you remember the old needle and thread to like
Oh, yes,
to
with the-
detect detect the
boy
birth
or
of the
girl.
baby, and that you would like actually literally hold it over a pregnant woman's, belly, and, so it would like kind of detect, and just, there's so many different things you can do. Supplements, the amount of supplements or, medicine to take.
Sure.
Is this the right for you? Is it not?
Yes or no's?
Yeah, exactly. You'll get a yes or no. You could hold the bottle in your hand and it'll say yes or no. You can also, the amount. Because sometimes if you look on the label, it'll tell you to take 2 a day at every meal. And then too much of a good thing is really not a good thing, so just for today, you would ask, do I need 2 of these? Do I need 4 of these a day? Do I maybe not need any? That type of thing. There's a lot that you can do with it. According to, vitamins, minerals, medication that you take, just clearing the energy, what's stepping in, is there something blocking? So there's really a lot.
You brought a liquid here to douse, and I'm curious.
This is,
It's an apple juice.
well, that's great. That is fabulous, because I want to try a different one, and I'll try this one here, which I like. Somebody made this in Pennsylvania for me, and he sells them. But now, is it true that this bottle that I have in my hand is an apple juice? No.
No. It's an apple drink.
No, there's no apple. It's actually peach.
Oh, it's peach.
I knew it was peach, but there you go.
Yeah.
Okay? If you were allergic to peach, you'd probably want to find out,
Yeah.
is this good for me? And let's find out. Yes, probably is to drink this, and that's what you were talking
Exactly.
about. Literally, you can ask anything about vitamins or anything, but you never want to take anything into your own hands as far as medications or prescriptions or anything, because this takes practice. And it's good to play with things that you can drink, like juice, teas, anything like
Even
that.
melons at the supermarket, tomatoes, is this going to be a ripe one? Is it, without people knocking on them or whatever?
Right,
You
damaging
can,
them.
Right, that's right.
Everybody does the same thing. They all go like pendulum in the market. It's like,
Right.
get one for me.
Now, we wanted to find out the aura. Everything has aura. And we wanted to find out the aura of this bottle. And show me the outside aura of this bottle of juice. Okay. And it should go right. Okay, it's right about there. Okay, it's right about there. And what you can do, you can bring up your favorite there, your
What do you want?
this one here. How he clears.
Oh, Raymond Grace, yes. He does a lot with water.
Yes, I was going to ask you about water.
Yes, he clears, like anytime, the tsunamis and everything like that, he just does a lot of healing, a lot of prayer, a lot of healing. He's got the flower of life that he brings into it and everything. And what he does is, we actually do a test. We actually have people bring water in from home, from the faucet, from wherever, and we test the water, we test the energy in the water. Is the energy in the water? And then, so we do it, and then we show a video that Raymond's done that is available to everyone, and actually what it does is it energizes. We all put bottles of water up in front of the video.
Sure.
And it energizes the water, and then we come back and we measure the water. And there is such a different, and that's just from watching his video. It's amazing.
And it
It's
changes,
really-
and then the aura
yeah.
becomes larger.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
It is, it's wonderful. There's so much you can do with that.
Well, I know you can charge your water
Exactly.
to make it more healthful.
Yeah.
Right.
You
You
just
can
put your
bless it.
intention, yes. You
Yes.
put your intention into the water as to what you want it to provide with you, whether it's vitamins, nutrients, without having to take extra. So,
I see we've come to the end of the show. This was very informative. I think we could do 2 or 3 shows on this.
Exactly, yeah.
You know,
Well, you're welcome to come out.
and douse, and please come and join everybody at the American Society of Dowsers, Rhode Island chapter in Greenville.
Right. Greenville Library.
yep.
Very good.
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So is that each